Double OT. Yeah, cool. Do you want to shut? I can't quite reach. Shut that. That might balance it a bit better.
Let me just put this on manual focus.
Ah, it's recording. Cool.
That banging is great.
Yeah, it's a good background noise.
Oh, where's my coffee? Nice.
All right, so this is episode 2.
Dos. Episode dos.
I already can't be bothered. Why don't we
Yeah,
just turn it off and go home and get on with our lives?
What lives?
You're in one of those moods today.
Yeah.
How's the gym been for you this week?
Really good.
Yeah, because you haven't been?
Correct. It's no DOMs. I've been feeling...
Have you been at all?
Yeah, I exercised Monday. But
I
exercised, I didn't train. I did a circuits class and then a weights class.
Oh, actually, I saw a couple of... I saw you in people's stories on Instagram doing some awful kettlebell swings, and I saw that and I was like, I'm not even messaging him. What a loser.
First of all, don't come after my kettlebell takers. It's good. It's good.
So that's all we've done all week is an exercise class.
Yeah, literally.
Circuits.
That and then drinking.
It's that time of the year though, dude. Everyone's doing their Christmas parties. I've got mine tomorrow. We're going for pizza at lunchtime.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Pizza... What's the pizza... Is it Pizza Express? The one over at the Don Stadium.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I'm sure it's Pizza Express.
Yeah.
I think that's where we booked. Yeah, man. Pizza Express. I'm very excited. Pizza Express it is. So if anyone wants to come down and see me, even though this video will be out after that, come down and say hi, see what's up. Yeah. Well, exciting news, we've got an intern starting.
We do. At some point if we can nail him down.
Yep. We've got an intern starting who's a local strength coach who just wants to be involved. So we've given him an opportunity to develop his skills and join the team.
Wants to get more involved in fitness and just...
Yeah, wants to learn how to program stuff. So yeah, we've got an intern. We've got sponsors coming on board. We just need to find them.
Definitely.
Initially.
Who would you like to be sponsored by?
What? Dream List?
Yeah.
I don't know. Costa Coffee?
That'd save me a lot of money.
Starbucks? What's your favourite coffee? What brand?
Probably Costa at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I would always choose a Starbucks if there's one there.
Oh.
Because they have the app.
Right.
So you can order on the app as you're going to the coffee place.
Oh, you can do it on the Costa app now?
What?
Yep. And you can get points from the ones in petrol stations.
Yeah. I just like being able to walk past the 30 mugs in the queue just to go and pick up your drink and leave.
Yeah, it's nice. That is a good feeling. Costa's my favourite. The thing that annoys me about Costa is I still get 10 points for a medium cappuccino. And I get the same 10 points. I've had 10 points every time for like the last 6 years, but the price has gone from $2.25 to $2.75. But I still get 10 points. I still have to buy 28 coffees to get a free coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's 10 points is 10p.
Because I thought Starbucks was bad. You have to buy 15... You have to do 15 transactions.
Right.
Not coffees. You could buy 15 coffees in one. That counts as one.
Oh, right. Bloody hell.
Yeah. You have to do 15 transactions, then you get a free one.
You got new glasses?
No, these are old.
They're Converse.
Yeah.
You're such a baller. You've got too much money. Why aren't you a sponsor?
I should just...
Why aren't you throwing cash at this?
I put enough money into this thing.
You have put a lot of money into this and time.
I bought this table.
You did. You've rented this.
Rented this room.
So we've rented an office space. We've got our own office space. We've got an intern coming on board. We're both working out of this office, and we've given up our full-time jobs to kind of pursue this. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're moving forward at speed with this.
Yeah.
Just slowly digging ourselves in a hole of debt.
Yeah, networking, but it'll all come right in.
Hey, listen. Once that YouTube money starts rolling in, we will be balling.
What address did you put down when you set up the account? Did you put down my address or your address?
Address?
Well, where are they going to send the money? I assume it comes in a truck.
I thought they were going to email it.
Did you see Chris D'Elia's story where he's stood there and a Brinks truck is backing up? You know, he does the money.
Oh yeah.
And it's just backing up behind him.
That was on Vine, right?
He pulls a. Does he still use Vine?
No one does. It's gone. But I think he did that on Vine.
Oh, I'm going to set up a Vine. I'm going to set up a Bebo as well, so just people can contact me.
That got me yesterday. Your story.
Did you like the short 1 minute teaser?
Yes, I did. You sent me on iMessage so I couldn't get a full screen on the phone for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
It looked good. I really like the work you've done on the colour in it.
Yeah, I put a colour. So I tried a load of LUTs and on this one I've just gone for my own colour grade, my own settings. But it brings out, because there's some really nice purples and colours in some of the clubs, and it just brings them out really well. So I just went with it. It looks good. So I'm now working on the full episode of the documentary. So that'll be episode 1, and then January, February is going to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got coming up? Can you tell?
I can't.
Okay.
But her name
is it for the documentary?
Yeah. Her name rhymes with Ricky Flage. Wait, Ricky Flanage.
No idea. Missy Rihanna?
The other guy's name rhymes with Clake. That's right, Brad Pitt. You've got it.
Oh, cool. What's Brad doing? Some appearances?
No, a tour. They're doing a tour. I think it's a 14 stadium tour, and there'll probably be some. I think their plan is that wherever city they do the tour in, there's an after thing afterwards at a club.
Yeah.
Come and drink VIP thing. In one he did last year, some guy paid to sit in the booth that was nearest to his booth £100,000.
That's mental.
And didn't even see him, didn't get to say hello to him, just to say, I sat in a booth next to him. I was at some like swanky place in London. So that's the plan this year, I think, is to go down and do some of the after stuff.
And we'll have made enough money at that point that we can rent one of those booths.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I bet just rather than drive, I'll just take the helicopter.
Yes.
This office, crazy enough, this office got a helipad on top. It's nuts the amount of money you've dropped on this.
Yeah, no, I probably should have saved from a future or something.
But you had a lot of money from your dad when you was younger, didn't you? Just handed to you.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't.
Because am I right in thinking he invented the curly whirly chocolate bar?
No, he didn't invent the chocolate.
Right.
But he invented the design of the words.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts. You're literally like one of the guys from Made in Chelsea, because Jamie from Made in Chelsea is the heir. How do you say air? Is it heir?
Yeah.
To the
digestives.
McVitie's throne.
Yeah.
And you've got the curly whirly throne.
Yeah. Just the whirly bit.
Oh, who's got the curly bit? Your sister.
It's his partner from years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That is crazy. What are the chances? Well, I appreciate you throwing the Cadbury's money at this.
Can we recognise how good I am at going with a story, even though I'm really, really tired?
You are tired, aren't you?
I am ready for a snooze.
And just not sleep very well last night?
No.
No. What are you going to eat today? Everything.
Probably nothing for a long time, and then everything. Although I'm taking a class tonight.
Steroids?
Taking a class tonight. I've got work up until about 6, and then 6:30 till 8. I've got a class to take, circuits class, and then I've got a PT session to deliver, 8 till 9, full on day.
That's pretty full on. That is a long old day. We've been putting some long old days recently, some nighters and whatnot.
Yeah. With all these Christmas parties to go to this week, I'm having to squeeze PT sessions in just like real late at night.
Well, that's very accommodating of your clients. You see my PT centre videos? Did I send you them? I didn't send you them.
No, you didn't send them.
I did 3. I'll send them over to you.
You haven't put them on social yet?
No, Adam has, and then I've posted. He's put 2 of them on. I've posted on my story the videos. Yeah, they come out really well.
Cool.
Really nice music. I used a music genre called lo-fi.
Oh yeah.
It's like a chilled hip hop type thing, but they're all Christmassy ones. Yeah, nice.
Actually, I've seen the snippet. I like the music on it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's chilled. What's on we talked about at the end of our last episode what we wanted to talk about today, but
we probably should have wrote that down. I think we're going to talk about. Well, we had some suggestions from our fans, didn't we?
Yeah. What were they?
That might be a good. Well, I remember one of them's 10 things we hate about powerlifting.
Oh yeah, good thinking. Things we hate about powerlifting.
So do we need to explain what powerlifting is? Do you think?
No, I don't think so. This is on YouTube, so people could just Google it.
Google,
I think people, if people know us or follow us, they would probably know what powerlifting is. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Squat, bench, deadlift. 3 attempts. Do the most weight you can safely, properly.
And they know that when we're in the gym, you often get described as someone who looks like they powerlift.
People think I look like a powerlifter.
Yeah, not a bodybuilder.
And people are surprised by how strong Dave is because of his slight stature. But you know, being 4'7" and weighing 37 kilos, it will have that effect on people.
Definitely.
Things I don't like about powerlifting. The thing I really like about powerlifting is how celebratory everyone is at a competition. So if you ever been to a bodybuilding competition where people don't look around,
Don't talk to each other.
Yeah, they don't talk. Or I should have beaten my chest better than that. I was more shredded and all this. The beauty of powerlifting is that the numbers don't lie. You either did the numbers or you didn't. So it's very clear who won and who didn't win.
It's a little subjective when you start calling into question like judges.
Yeah. So you could, some calls you could be like, oh, it seemed like a high squat, or the pauses are all different every time because you can't have the exact same pause because everyone's different.
Then you can predict it as well.
Yeah. So I get that. But that's one of the things I like about it. The fact that everyone's really cheerful and celebratory of how well you do. I don't really know what things I don't like. I think the things I don't like about powerlifting are the Instagram stuff.
Yeah, I'd say the things I don't like about powerlifting are the people who powerlift. I don't mind the actual doing of the thing, but the people now who are getting into it are getting like super nerdy with it. And
yeah, I guess I miss the days of people just trying really hard.
Yeah,
and like, I don't know, people. There seems to be a lot of procrastination now. So people are like, well, I'm going to do powerlifting, so that means I need to get some shoes, I need some knee sleeves, I need a belt. My first powerlifting comp, I didn't even wear pants, so I did it commando because that's what they said. Because I turned up in shorts and a t-shirt. I didn't have deadlift socks. I had to borrow them from a lady. That's those stripy ones. That's the origin.
Oh
of
yeah,
those.
I've seen them. Okay.
And then I turned up in boxers, and the guy was like, "We can't wear them." So okay. So I literally did it in a PE kit, shorts, t-shirt, some borrowed socks, and some like high top Adidas trainers.
Nice.
And all the prep that I did leading into that was just in the gym, training like normal, but practicing squatting, benching, and deadlifting with the commands. So like the rack command especially, because that's the one that gets most people when you're hyped up.
Yeah.
But I didn't worry about anything else other than that. I didn't have knee sleeves, wrist wraps, nothing. In my head, I was like, I'm going to destroy people when I pull this 220 opening deadlift. Because in the flight I was in, it was a mixed weight flight as well. So,
really?
So some people weren't pulling to it, and I was like, no, it's not. I'm right at the end. You know that when you're at the end, you're either a real heavyweight or your number's a big one. My 220 deadlift came up, and I was like, yeah, here we go. And I was like, right, 230. Let's put 230 on there. For that destroy people. And then people were like 250, 260, and I was like, damn it. Yeah. That strategy went right down the pan quick.
Yeah.
What don't I like about powerlifting?
Do you know what, actually, going to watch a powerlifting competition is one of the most boring things you can do in your life. Competing in one is fun.
Yeah, it depends how well it's run. I guess that's one of the things, is just the logistics of the day, because in some organisations everyone has to weigh in before 8.
Yeah. And
then if you're a heavier person in one of the heavier classes, you won't go on until 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe later.
Yep.
So you have to wait around because your kit's been checked, your weight's been done, you're not allowed to leave the building. So that's a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
I like the training for a comp is a bit of a pain as well. I don't enjoy it because you spend 16 weeks, 12 weeks, 9 weeks, however you do, or in your case 2 weeks.
Yep.
Just thinking about certain numbers, certain things, and it just gets a bit. I guess it gets a bit boring.
And I always get a little bit of elbow pain in the last 3 weeks of a prep.
Yeah.
From the squats.
Yeah, your squats are very neat.
But weirdly in training, I don't get elbow pain from it. It's the heaviness and the frequency of the heaviness. And also when I compete, I move my hands way in, so that puts a lot of external rotation on the elbow.
Yeah, will do.
Weirdly, benching, fine. It's the squats that does it.
I think that's probably it. The logistics of the day, because they can be long.
Yeah.
I just always find it hard to get myself in. Like, I'm not as relaxed as I am in the gym, and I notice that when I'm warming up. So when I'm warming up on squats, I'm just like, this doesn't feel how it does, because you're just used to your gym, your bar, your weights, aren't you?
Yep.
And you go somewhere else and it's all different. So that's a bit that struggles, I guess. So the logistics of the day, the familiarity of the kit, because you can't train for that. You turn up and you use what's there. That always feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
And then some of the training leading into it, where you're just too worried about, today I need to hit this percentage or whatever. It just becomes a bit, I don't know, a bit of a. I feel like I have to do stuff rather than enjoy stuff. I'd rather enjoy it.
Yeah.
And now that you can't deadlift with your shirt off, that's a big problem.
Oh, really?
Shirts on for everyone.
Oh, they
I believe so.
Because they released the proposed changes in rules, but not.
Yeah, and the flat. So I think you can't put your feet up on the bench to set up. I think that's gone.
I'm still seeing people doing that in training.
Maybe it's not
In training.
I don't know if that makes any difference. I don't know if it's ever made any difference to me. I mean, I used to do it.
Depends
but
how much of an arch.
my arch is non-existent, so I think I just like to do it for effect. So I did my first. Go on.
Overly elaborate setups.
Oh yeah, everyone's got a deadlift setup, haven't they? Now that's just too much.
Yeah.
I don't see people doing too much with the squats, other than the shouting and the screaming, which is fine. Do what you want. I don't really care.
Yeah, get hyped. Deadlifts and bench are
the bench setups can be a bit crazy. I always find it weird when people unrack the bar with their bum up and then settle themselves down. I just feel like that. I mean, I don't do it, so I can't understand
for me, it gives me about an extra inch for where I can unrack comfortably.
And
then put my shoulders down.
Then that makes sense. It just looks unstable and weird. And then the deadlift, people just have gone ridiculous with the deadlift.
Yeah.
And there's just such a camp of sumo versus conventional, and like sumo is a much more technical lift. It's so classy when it goes really well.
Yeah.
The range of motion's different, but so are the mechanics of the lift. Like a conventional deadlift is easy to get off the floor. It's then the middle and top, which is where most people fail.
Yep.
A sumo takes ages to get off the floor, and then it pings and you fly. So it's not a case of one's easier than the other. They're totally different. It's just whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
There's a guy on Instagram who I really like his training. I think he does some coaching. His name on Instagram is Oldred, I think. And he's a Welsh chap, and he does some coaching. And he's got some ridiculous numbers, but his sumo deadlift is just delightful to look at. And there's no setups. He just comes in, pulls it, and does it.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got some. And I just like people that just do that. They just train. There's lots of people in our gym that have to have nose talk, and they have to sniff. And they could be doing. They could literally be doing. They could be doing a cable overhead extension.
Yeah.
But they need wrist wraps, nose talk, all that sort of thing. We were in the other night, and there's a couple of young lads in our gym. And it's the time of the year in our gym where it's really mostly just the regulars now.
Yeah.
All of the guys that came for the summer to get the summer bods have gone, and it's mostly just the regulars. But you get a few new people coming in. There's these two young lads, and they've both got wrist wraps on, which is fine. I don't know them, so perhaps they've both got wrist injuries. But I suspect
they want on the benches and
but they were doing. So they were doing every variation of a pec deck ever. Of a pec fly.
Oh, they were doing that one where
they were doing machine flies. Then they were doing dumbbell flies. They were stood in front of the pec deck, stood in front of it doing that. So the machine's there and they're doing this.
Yep.
And it just stuff like that. I didn't want to say anything to them, but if I see them again, I'll go and talk to them. And say hey. You could be doing stuff that would be more beneficial than flying, like pressing. But one of the things that annoys me about fitness is so many people want to reinvent the exercise wheel. I see so many people sat on an inclined chest press, sideways, doing this and holding their chest. I see so many people holding a plate, lifting it and doing this. Just stop it.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
Just stop it.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do is just stop doing that.
Just hold it.
Yeah. Lift it up and hold it. Not a problem. I see people with a barbell doing lateral raises. Just stop that. You could use a dumbbell.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
You could use
Instead of taking up all that space, just use a dumbbell.
Yeah. And that thing is really hard to balance in your hand because it's long. Use a nice short dumbbell.
And the
weight's the same.
The fact that you're balancing it will make zero difference to your muscle gain in your shoulder, I suspect. I'm not a scientist, neither are you. You're an heir of the curly whirly throne.
Heir of the curly whirly.
But balancing something isn't going to do it. You know what's going to do it? Intensity. Trying hard.
Progressive overload.
Yes. I don't know what either of those means, but just try hard and do stuff more regularly.
Try hard for a long time.
That's crazy, right? Yeah. So those young lads were doing that, and I just looked at them and thought, you don't need those wrist wraps, but you're wearing them because it's a thing. And I did it. My first training, my first ever program was go into the gym and do every machine in there.
Yeah.
So just work down every machine and just do them all. Do 3 sets of 12 on every machine, and then do a half-hour run.
It's not a bad way to start,
It's something.
Yeah.
But nowadays everyone wants to. Oh, I'm doing the west side, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. It's just, do you know what? Just go in and train regularly. and eat well. Don't be an idiot with your food.
Yeah.
You know who I really like on Instagram is James Smith, who his thing is just, calorie deficit.
Oh, yeah.
Just create a calorie deficit. Don't eat like an idiot and create a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
It's really simple advice.
What was I going to say? GVT is something that I'm seeing people posting about all the time.
And I suspect people...
It's back.
Yeah, it seems like it's back, and I suspect people probably aren't following it because GVT, which is German volume training, which is 10 sets of 10, usually of 2 exercises that are opposite sides of your body. So you might do a dumbbell press, usually in the same motion path. So yeah, if you do a dumbbell press, you probably would do a barbell row to make it easy. And the stipulation of the 10 sets 10 is usually it's under tempo, and I think it's something like a 3 or 4 second negative. And that's the other thing. You see people,
oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. You see people going, this is a 4 second negative, or here's my PB on pause squats. And then they don't pause.
Yeah.
Or they just seem to just kind of just stop at the bottom very quickly and come up. Just don't do that.
No.
I see people post...
Squat?
I see I see people posting videos of like their clients squatting. Now, I don't know their clients, I don't know their history, but if their squat doesn't look like that classic good technique squat, just don't post it. That squat might be the best squat that person can do, and that's great. That might be the right range of motion, the right form for that person. Great. But you know what? Don't post it on social media.
Yeah, you don't have to. And you're just taking away from what you do.
You've just left the office. I know that this is your building and you own it, but you can't just leave the office.
Yeah, okay. There we go. Back on.
Dave left because he was worried that he left his car engine on outside. So he's gone down, checked, and it's all still there.
Barely.
So we're talking about just stuff that irks us, I guess, in the gym, in powerlifting.
Yeah.
What things irk you in general life? Let me tell you, you can shut up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what irks me in general life. It's people not having an awareness of their surroundings and being aware of like their body space.
Shops.
Yeah, in shops, blocking walkways and not thinking, I might be in the way here, maybe I'll move.
Walking in a shopping centre where everyone's walking behind you and just stopping.
Yeah,
for no reason.
And just not having that awareness of who might be around and stuff.
Yeah.
And that just really annoys me when people aren't aware of their body and their self, and they're not. I guess they're not courteous of other people.
Yeah.
I guess is probably
it's a bit selfish, isn't it? You're just thinking about what you're doing.
What else have we been up to? You watch any podcasts?
Nope.
There's I sent you a clip. Did you get it earlier? Fire and a Kid. I WhatsApped it to you.
Oh yes, yeah.
You will love that clip.
Cool.
You will love it. So it's Brian Callen and Brendan Sharp talking about old Clint Eastwood clips, and Brendan's like, oh sure, just send me the link. And obviously they're all on videos, they can't. So Brian's getting more and more annoyed, and then Brendan just calls it all out as BS. So they get into a fight, and it's so funny. And then Brendan just overpowers him, obviously.
Oh, of course.
They just put a new one up last night, and they phoned Chris D'Elia. And he starts going nuts at him down the phone. That's quite good as well. I just love that guy. He's so funny. He's so funny. What else have we been doing? What have we been watching? What have we been enjoying, Dave? What have we been up to?
So, you're not a fan of comic book stuff, but I am.
Oh, yeah. I know.
I've been watching The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, those TV series. They're coming up to a crossover, which is quite well anticipated.
Are you the only person that watches them? This sounds awful. My son's got really into The Greatest Showman, so now my bloody suggestions on Spotify all relate to The Greatest Showman.
This is me.
It's a good film. Right, so in terms of new stuff that's out, so guy that trains at our gym, fairly well-known UK guy.
Yeah.
You won't know who he is because you're like 47. Tempeti's got a new album out called It's Bait, It's Bait, and he's got a new song called Lickle Pickney with gigs on it. That is a great track. But that album's pretty solid, to be fair.
Do you know, I think that album was on the other night.
Yeah, I asked for him to put it on.
Yeah, I think Yannick put it on, and the start.
Shout out to Yannick. Might be one of the greatest at Atlas to work there ever. He's the man. I like Yannick.
And just the start of every song, Tempest just starts off with like a
Temps. Yeah. Do you have your own Netflix, or do you borrow someone else's?
I have my own.
Unbelievable. You're like the only person I know that has their own Netflix.
Well, for everybody,
Can I have your login details?
If everybody's borrowing someone else's Netflix, there's got to be one Netflix
source
that someone has.
I don't believe it is. It's a funny. Do you remember when Netflix? It used to be Love Film, and they used to post you the DVD. You'd watch it and post it back.
I thought it was always Netflix.
No, it was Love Film before Netflix. Yeah. So this was in the days of Blockbuster, but when Blockbuster was going out. Do you remember Blockbuster?
I used to work there.
Did you? Oh, my mum used to work for them in the warehouse, and so she used to get the vouchers to go and rent the films. I used to love going to a Blockbuster. I used to go to Oldbrook.
High Wycombe. I used to live there.
You used to live in High Wycombe?
Yeah.
Good gym in High Wycombe. Called Iron. I went there I was delivering some training at a prison a couple of years ago, and I went there. I can't remember what it's called. Good gym though.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But I used to love going to Blockbusters. I used to rent games. I rented Grand Theft Auto Vice City from Blockbuster the day it came out because I couldn't afford to buy it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was always really funny working on the counter, and you get on the Friday night the guys that come up to the counter with 2 DVDs to rent. The first one's like Marley and Me or something.
Oh,
and then
great film.
And then the second one is just like Naughty Schoolgirls from Next Door or something.
Really? Did you have an adult section in that one?
Yeah.
Was it closed off or was it open?
I think it was open.
Fantastic.
But either it was like really obviously adult, but it wasn't.
So these would have
It was all softcore. Yeah, it was all
softcore
softcore stuff. And I was just like, because the internet existed at this time.
How many years ago was this though? What state was it? Was the internet, because it wouldn't have been video streaming, I imagine. I imagine it was. Do you remember loading a picture and it'd load up line?
It was video streaming, but it probably wasn't at the point.
Was it dial-up internet or were you on Wi-Fi then?
Wi-Fi wasn't a huge thing at that point.
Man, dial-up internet. What? That's nuts. What was I just about to say? Oh, I've forgotten. Anyway.
You're talking about Blockbuster renting games.
Yeah, no one cares. Renting games. Oh yeah, so you talked about the adult section. Opposite my middle school was a sex shop, a tattoo shop and a sex shop. Literally, so...
in the same shop?
Yeah, so there's the
and
tattooists, and then you walk through the sort of reception of the tattooists into one of those sort of darkened alleyways.
Yeah.
Where you sort of pull... it was like a leather or PVC type curtain that you sort of heavily move over and walk in. Yeah, walk in. And I just remember sort of walking past that going, let's sneak in. And me and my friends, I don't even know how a tattoo shop lets a couple of middle school aged children sneak in
uniform, one
small door after school, when kids are everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we walked into the sex shop, and I just remember it being dark, really dark, but with red lights, sort of uplighting stuff.
Classic.
And just seeing sex toys and being like, I made it, I'm here. and then not doing anything with it, and then just leaving and walking home proud. Do you remember finding like porn mags in like the woods and things?
Yeah, like today's kids are never going to have that.
I tell you what, today's kids are never going to have non-smoking sections in restaurants or aeroplanes. So you go to a restaurant and go, can I have a non-smoking table, please? So they just put your table in the zone that doesn't have any walls, that's just next to the smoking section.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
When you used to be able to smoke at the back of a bus.
Yeah, that's right.
But not at the front.
But what a crazy
the windows
system.
didn't open.
What a crazy... So in their mind, the smoke just stays at the back because the bus is going so fast. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I was watching a Cliff Richard... Someone showed this to me, a Cliff Richard video that was filmed in the shopping centre in like 1981. Mm-hmm. Do you knew that? You didn't know that? No, you're acting like you knew that.
I'm saying like I'm active listening. Yeah,
you're asleep behind the eyes. You've got those shark eyes.
Dead.
And so 1981, they're all on roller skates, and they're down by the John Lewis end, so it's that browny kind of old wall. And they're down there, and there's a fountain in Milton Keynes that's by, I think it's in the Secklow area. It's kind of the infinity sign on its side in a little square of water, and that's where I lost my dummy when I didn't lose it. My nan take me to get rid of my dummy when I was a big enough boy, and she told me it would turn up at the beach one day. And it never did.
Nan's fed you some bullshit.
Well, what am I meant to? I'm 16. How am I meant to know any better? That was an easy one. Anyway, music that's out. New Method Man. So he's got a new one with Chic Luch, and I quite like that. Mm-hmm. What else have I been...
Is that the song you played the other night?
Yes.
Wasn't a massive fan of it.
It's a very good beat. Very good beat. Okay. Is it Kodak Black's new album that's out? Yeah, Kodak Black's new album's out. Now, right, so let's talk about hip-hop. So, did you see Kanye's tweets?
No.
So he went on Twitter, did a crazy amount of tweets all about Drake's threatening his family, doing all this stuff. So Drake just puts on Instagram stories some laughing emojis. That's it. So Kanye goes even more crazy. And then Drake posts a track off Kodak's album it happens to be the last track, which is called. It's not called that. Let me find it. Kodak. Good album though. You wouldn't like it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's not your thing. So the album's called Dying to Live, and the last track is called Could Have Been Different.
Okay.
And Drake puts that up with like the freezing emojis. And if you listen to that song, it's all about a story of Kodak talking about how a relationship could have been different. I don't know if it was with a friend or a girlfriend. But it's the perfect summary of Drake and Kanye's relationship and how things will never be the same again. So it's such a good sneak diss.
First of all, are you saying Kanye instead of Kanye?
Kanye, yeah. Yay. Con. How do you pronounce it?
Kanye.
Kanye. That's because you're very British. Kanye is how it's pronounced.
What?
So, all right, let's...
No, it isn't.
Yes. What about... How do you pronounce this guy? Let me bring him up. How do you pronounce him?
I don't.
XXX Tentacion. But everyone calls him Extension. Because they're lazy and British.
Yeah.
He's the young lad that died. He was murdered in a car. Yeah. Kanye.
It's Kanye.
Okay. Let's ask Google.
Ask Google.
Pronounce Kanye. How to pronounce Kanye West?
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Yeah, Kanye.
You're not hearing it. This is a bit like the thing. Khan.
Kanye.
No, you're saying can because it's a k sound, but it's Khan.
But it's not Khan.
No, but you're seeing from phonetic. You're seeing can, but it's Kanye. Kanye West. But
you were saying Kanye.
No, you're saying
you were saying like
Kanye.
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 Con.
No, you're saying
you were saying con.
No. Play the video back. Do the tech thing and play it back, and you'll see you said Kanye. You said Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye. It almost sounds like there's an R in there.
Anyway,
I don't want to have to end the episode with
Have you seen Michael Rappaport's Instagram about Ariana Grande?
No, I imagine it's terrible.
It's just it posts a picture. Apparently, it's her. He doesn't say it is, but he just posts a picture and he just goes, "She's 27. You take off the knee-high boots, the makeup, and something to do with her, and you find better-looking girls working in Starbucks." And it had 7,000 comments because
Ariana got
all the Ariana
74,000 likes, 7,500 comments.
All the Ariana fans have just gone nuts at him in it, and then he posted one about
is 27
well.
Acts 12. You take off those boots. She hides her legs in the cat eye makeup and the genie ponytail, and I think there's hot women working the counter at Starbucks. Oh,
and then he just goes,
gosh,
new podcast live.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, and there's a Kanye one.
Yeah, so he says Kanye's going off. I'm guessing that's off the Drake.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he posts so much funny stuff. Some of his stuff is so funny. I mean, he goes at people.
Yeah, I like the shame game.
Yeah, his. Do you listen to his podcast?
No,
it is quite funny.
I would do if it was into sports and stuff.
Yeah, they don't. They talk a little bit about sports. It depends.
Dean Collins.
Yeah,
I didn't really know who that guy was.
I didn't know who that was.
He's in a band.
The other guy he does it with.
Dean Collins.
No. He doesn't do the podcast with Dean Collins. He does a lot of his Instagram with Dean Collins.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name? Oh, how can I not? I can't remember his name. Anyway, he does a lot of podcasts with this other dude, and they're just so funny, the stuff they do. They just talk about stupid stuff that's online. His Instagram feed is hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny.
It's so funny. He's funny though. He doesn't.
He's doing stand up again, no?
Is it? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
actually, I heard
took a 20-year break from
stand-up. I heard him say that. Actually, yeah, I heard him say that. Dude, my Instagram is blowing up since that Tory Lanez video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish it got more views, and I don't want to sponsor a video. It's just not cool. Loads of comments, so I try and like and reply to comments and stuff. I just don't post regularly enough on Instagram for it to be in the feed. I'm having more and more of my old videos flagged, and I can't. There's one that got flagged yesterday that I can't even appeal.
Oh really?
It's just delete the video, or let's just delete the video. So I just left it.
Yeah. And
that was one. Do you remember when I used to do my old gym videos? Just so it was me in the gym deadlifting, and the music literally playing in the gym.
Well, that's what I got popped. on the.
Strange. And you did a story last. When did we train? Friday night.
Yeah.
And because you had some Jay-Z stuff on Instagram,
Was it just Jay-Z or was it Jay-Z and Rick Ross?
but it was
Jay-Z and Rick Ross.
But it was the fact it's Jay-Z because none of Jay-Z's albums are on Spotify. There's a few Jay-Z tracks, like the Linkin Park album when Jay-Z is on there. What's that called? Collision Course.
Collision Course.
That album's on there, so you can play tracks on that. But because I suspect it's because of Jay-Z and Tidal. Does anyone have Tidal? I know
I have Tidal.
Of course you do. You just bankrolling everything.
No, I got 6 months free.
How?
One of my friends went to a Beyonce concert and they were giving out 6 months free to everyone at the concert. Because no bastard has Tidal.
No one has. I know one person with Tidal, and that's because they're a die-hard Jay-Z fan.
Actually, I need to
cancel
Tidal.
How much is Tidal? $9.99.
Yeah, same as Spotify. They're all the same price.
I prefer Apple Music, I'll be honest, because Apple Music had some really great radio shows that I really liked on there.
Beats One was
Beats One is
good.
phenomenal. Yeah, and Zayn
I prefer Spotify because I think the track discovery is better.
Yeah,
for finding new music, and then Apple.
I've never used Tidal. Do they have as many tracks?
Yeah, but no, probably not. But you're talking about like obscure ones they don't have. The Tidal app is slow to respond, real slow. Like when you press skip, it's 2 seconds later.
What?
It skips. Yeah, it's like Spotify was 7 years ago.
Okay, I mean I got Spotify free when I just got a new phone contract, so that's the reason I have it. Otherwise, I'd be using Apple Music.
Why I pay for a family membership so that me and the wife have we have our own logins, but it's $14.99.
Oh, that's okay. Because otherwise, if she logs in and starts playing, then
it stops it on me. But so that doesn't happen because we know. I've been in the gym before. Someone's got a playlist on, and all of a sudden it stops, and like who's done that? And it's their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah, I've seen that in a lesson before. What a pain! What a pain.
I like Spotify.
Yeah, I like Spotify. I like the app. I like that it's dark. I like that it's really easy to find new music.
Do you ever read? So when you're playing the music, sometimes
the lyrics.
It flips the lyrics.
Yeah,
over
I like that.
The stories that are behind them, they're good sometimes.
I like that. I'm always a bit skeptical because so when somebody's interpreting stuff, it's not the artist that's written that. It's some guy listening to it.
Yeah, but sometimes they interview the artist.
Do they? Oh, okay,
like in A$AP Rocky and Skepta's tune from his recent album, they interview A$AP Rocky, and he talks about how it was created, some bits about behind the lyrics. Behind the lyrics.
Have you been watching Peter McKinnon's videos lately?
No, I really haven't been watching anything, have I?
You haven't been doing anything.
He's, from what I'm seeing from his thumbnails, he's got a heavy winter colour grade on all his videos at the minute.
Yeah,
everything's really blue.
And he's
moved from his autumn kind of thing into full on winter.
I don't know what I've been watching. Just podcast bits, man. Trying to keep up to date with stuff. Trying to keep up to date with the Kanye West and Drake beef because I think that's so interesting. And I just wonder where it goes next.
Is that just an extension of the Pusha T thing?
Yeah, so the reason...
I know Drake was talking shit about Kanye in the Pusha T.
Yeah, because supposedly Drake told Kanye about his son and played him a track called March 14th, which was a song dedicated to his son, which was meant to be the song that the world heard for the first time to hear that Drake has a son.
Right.
And then apparently he told that to Kanye, let him hear it. Kanye then told Pusha, and that's where Pusha used the evidence in the track, the story of Adonis, and said he's got a son. So apparently that's what that all stems from. But there's lots of people suspecting that Kim and Drake have had something going on. Lots of people think
currently?
No, in the past. Lots of people. So there's I can't remember the track, but there's a lyric where Drake says, "Ye's pool is fine, mine's just bigger. That's all I'm saying." So talking about their swimming pools, but there's a lot of people inferring that they're actually talking about their junk.
Right.
And linking it back to Kim, which I just like the fact that there's going to be more good music coming out. Kanye's working on stuff, and he's come off of the drugs, so we might get the old Kanye.
And Kanye,
yep,
he's also working.
And Tory Lanez and Royce da 5'9" might be having a beef, like a rap battle type beef.
Do you think these are like engineered now?
Like, the Tory Lanez and
someone
Royce da 5'9" one.
Should we have a beef?
Yeah. The Kanye one, maybe.
He's just nuts.
Yeah, maybe.
And easy to trigger.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's easy to get kind of going. But I just like the fact that it gives people energy and they make good music of it. Because Pusha T's album was alright, and that linked around that same time. It wasn't a bad album. There's a lot of albums that have come out that I'm just not going to go back to.
Yep.
His album might be one of them. Lil Wayne's album is one. Eminem's album is one. I'll just be like, I listen to them and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that they've done this. It's cool, some couple of good tracks. But there's very few that I go back to.
And the thing is, they're probably costing them so much money to make. But I wonder how much money they're making now, because most of it's done through streaming and it's not done through sales.
Yeah, I don't know I can't remember what the numbers were. So I'm sure Eric Sermon did a radio interview and said about, I think it's like per million streams is £1,000 maybe or something like that.
And what counts as a stream? Because what if you only listen to the first 25 seconds?
It's the first 20 something 21 seconds. After at that point, it's a stream.
Right. Okay.
Which is why lots of artists now put longer intros into songs. So like you might listen to a song and the first bit is a bit of a phone call.
I hate that.
And like you hear some people talking, or there's a bit, or that there's just a long fade up of music because of that streaming point. It's the same with having lots of songs on an album. If you put an album out that's like Meek Mill's album's got something like 30 songs on. You put an album with 30 songs out, lots of people are going to be listening to lots of songs, so you've got more chance to generate income.
Yep.
Rather than you put an album with 7 songs out, people are going to explore it less. They'll just listen to the album as it goes through. But yeah, it's something like 20 something songs. But I'm sure it's per million streams is £1,000. Imagine that. And there's a lot of people just racking up.
It's easy to get a million streams.
Billions of streams. Yeah. They just Billboard have just put the top 25, I think, streaming artists of the year.
Okay.
And some of the numbers are insane. But who would you say the top 3 are?
What, streaming up? Well, Drake.
Yeah, Drake's number 1. Who would you put as number 2?
Jay-Z?
Nope.
No? Rick Ross? Oh, wait, all artists or hip hop artists?
Yeah, no, streaming, so it's all artists.
Justin Bieber? Really?
That's not there. Where have I found it? Top artists. There you go. Post Malone, number 2.
Really?
Ed Sheeran, number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, go on.
To draw your attention, we're on 42 minutes, so we're almost going to be done.
Let's go. No one cares. No one's watching at this point.
Yeah.
If you are watching at this point, well done.
Also, thanks to the 8 views we had on our last video.
Well, we did. We've racked up 8 views, and we didn't even post the link. What I'm saying about that is, if we post the link and let people actually see this, it's over.
Yeah.
The money's just coming.
8 views and 1 like. Do we have to do the thing like press the like button?
Oh, don't press the like button.
Did you see the
YouTube Rewind video? Is the most disliked video in YouTube history. It surpassed the Justin Bieber Baby.
Really?
Yeah. Let's just quickly look at this YouTube Rewind. Yeah. 2018.
YouTube might pop us for playing that one.
I won't play it. 144 million views. There's no sound. 13 million dislikes.
Wow.
It's the most disliked because apparently I haven't watched it because I don't care. But what it was used to be about was the biggest videos, the most streamed videos, the most streamed YouTubers.
Yeah.
But what this is now turned into is like an advertising pitch for people to sponsor YouTube videos. So a YouTuber using this to talk to advertisers and go, hey, you can watch our video. So MK, he did a video talking about it.
Why he doesn't like it.
Why it's not hit. Casey Neistat's done one where he said why it's not hit.
He's done it in defence of it though.
Yeah, he's talked about why he didn't think it was a hit and connect with people. I mean, I don't even know who most of these YouTubers are, but they're doing a Fortnite. It's a Fortnite type thing. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care. I mean, I don't watch those sorts of things. I'm not interested.
It doesn't like it being the most unliked video in YouTube history. It means it's one of the most watched videos in YouTube history.
Yeah,
and that's all that counts.
Yeah,
because there will be an ad on it.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm pretty confident that they could have done any video. And people would have just made it the most disliked video of all time.
Yeah, maybe.
People just like to dislike. So I don't know what impact disliking a video has. Probably says more about you than it does about us. So take that into account before you do it. But just the most helpful things is comments,
subscribing,
sticking the little bell icon so you get a notification when there's a new video.
Like, and comment.
Yeah, that'd be.
That's
really
why
helpful.
all the giveaways go subscribe, like, and comment.
And if you do that, Dave will pick somebody from the comments to give something away to. You could do. Dave will Skype call you, free. So enter
Only
now.
at 2 a.m.
Enter now. Tell your friends. Tell your mum. She'll probably already knows.
Yeah, she'll know.
Mum joke. Alright, turn
Let's
it
end
off.
it on that.
I'm bored.
Okay. Let's get. Actually, just turn the camera off first. Good.